Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I am world famous, and we are here on our regular Wednesday night on the road again. Host to the toast, coast to coast. This is what we do. This is what we do. And on my left, my co-host, my partner, my main man.
Super Dave.
There you go, Super Dave, behind the scene, bigger than me, stronger than Dave. They call him Kubi TV.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
How y'all doing today? Today is going to be an exciting show, good show. My guest is outside parking the car. He's on his way in, and damn it to hell, she's coming through through somewhere, but she's supposed to be here soon. So, without further ado, we're going to start the show off by talking about something everybody was asking about. Do you think if Tyler would have played, would the outcome would have been different for OKC? What you think, D?
Oh, that's a good question, world famous. That's a good question, man. I really can't tell you, man. That's a very good question, man. It's almost like the same question about when the Knicks was playing and Tatum, but I think that game was over anyway.
Okay.
But this is like when the first quarter, I think it was only like maybe 2 minutes in or 3 minutes in.
Yeah, it was early.
That's heartbreaking,
but
man.
It was how he started. He banged out 3 3-pointers.
Yeah.
3 3-pointers. He banged them out. And I was like, wow, this is going to go down to the wire. But my feelings on it, I think that it would have been a little different outcome, and maybe it would have been a little closer because that margin, the spread was unbelievable. I mean, KC just put it on him. I'm very happy for him. It's different when the city itself is not a metro city like,
right.
New York, like or California or Chicago or something like that. I mean, they said Oklahoma won, and that was just that. It wasn't like, I don't know. But again, I'm glad that they won. Congratulations to them. And hopefully we have another good year. How you like that? I hear a lot of big trades are going on out there.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
That's it. KD went to
Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
Yeah.
He went to Houston. Drew Holiday.
He
got traded to Portland. Portland got the leading scorer Boston got the leading scoring point guard in Portland.
Wow.
So
that's right. Anthony. I know you told the point guard, right?
Yeah.
So Boston got him.
Yeah. I think
so.
Porzingis went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, Porzingis was getting hurt. He was hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The NBA is shaking up, man. It's going to be a different year, and I guess what's his name? The young boy coming out. He definitely going to Dallas, huh? I think he's going to be the first pick because Dallas got first pick this year.
Yeah, but I read something that Kyrie might be opting out his contract.
They gave him the bag, though.
He might opt out of the contract. So whatever the contract deal is and whatever he's going to lose, in a way he might be willing to lose whatever he's going to lose. And get whatever he's going to get.
I got a question while we're talking about Dallas. You think since Mark Cuban's not there, you see a lot of different changes, man. Mark Cuban was the nucleus to bring all these people in.
Yeah.
Now he's not there. What y'all think about that? Like,
no, that's why I think once he went down, that's when Luka left. or or they wanted him out, or he wanted out, one or the other. But the crazy thing is, talking about Kyrie real quick, they showing him in the LA Laker uniform.
Oh my God!
I can believe that. I mean, that's where he wanted to go in the beginning. Didn't
Him, Luka, and LeBron.
No,
oh, baby.
They got the money for that.
Listen,
they'll find it out.
We don't know because didn't they just sell a team? They just sold the team.
Yeah, to who bought that? Somebody
unknown.
Is Braun got a part of that?
No.
Magic is not in it no more.
Magic been out.
Really been out?
Yeah,
Magic been out.
Yeah. Wow. Listen, y'all.
Magic trying to buy the Knicks if they sell it.
I heard he was looking at that. That's right. You're right.
If that happens, New York might be in the runnings for chips.
With Magic at the helm.
Magic at the helm.
Listen, y'all heard it first on the Road Again show, man. I mean, basketball. This is the Mecca of basketball here. So we hope we can get one. We hope we can get one. But that's something, for the people, something to think about. Magic, New York, Kyrie. What a show! What a show! I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think they were talking about what you call him. He's interested in now talking about negotiations. Giannis.
Coming to New York?
Well, I don't know.
New York fans will hope he come to New York.
That would be a monster. But Jordan have to give. We got to give him something.
Yeah, you got the whole. It's just who's playing. It'll be just the point guard and Giannis.
That's it.
No. Okay, I think they said they're gonna give up Cat, and it was Cat and.
I heard they think about bringing your boy back too.
DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo.
Yeah, they think about bringing him back.
Yeah. But they said they working. It's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff going on out there in the NBA world. It's a lot of stuff.
And tonight's draft night, so I think everybody. This is the opening of trade talks.
I want to see who's going. Well, I know Flag gonna be the first pick, but I just want to see who's gonna get.
And I don't know how true this is, but I saw that Whichcomb is getting ready to leave too, Dallas. Kid.
Yeah, but y'all didn't want to take him either as a coach. Knicks didn't want to give him. They didn't want to give him a shot.
No, they didn't want to. They would let him interview. They wouldn't let New York interview.
Dallas wouldn't let New York.
Yeah.
How about what you think about it? I heard this was in the air. Mark, you think Mark gonna come out? You think they're gonna get Mark Jackson the bag?
Oh,
they're not. Nobody's trying to mess with Mark, and that's sad though.
It is sad. I mean, maybe y'all know a little bit more than I do. Why? What's the dark cloud over Mark Jackson?
I don't know.
Anybody
I have
know?
no idea.
Because I mean, sports. If anyone's watching today and know that answer, give us a call. What number, Kubi?
347-961-2793.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely call.
TV World. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Right.
But I know Mark Jackson is a. Is he a reverend? Is he a preacher or something like that?
That's a good question. I know he's heavily into church.
Right, and I think that I don't know if this is true or not, but I think he was bringing that into the locker room. I don't know, and I don't know if that's banned by the NBA or whatever. But I think that might be one reason. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, me personally, I think he should get a shot. It's too much. Look what happened to the old Boston coach, the brother. He's at Houston now.
And
he's a head coach.
Yeah.
He got kicked out because of he cheated on his wife, and you know what I'm saying? Yes. So he got another shot.
Yeah, but that was crazy because he did it with somebody
in the front office.
Yeah.
So
wife.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. You got another shot at it. So
it must have been something crazy, man.
Mark had to do something really, 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 really bad not to be able to get another shot at coaching. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But they let him as a commentator. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You let him commentate games, but you can't be on the court to coach a game. That don't make sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna hold that thought, and we're gonna. Oh, we're not going to. Not right now. Okay. Okay. Well, next topic. And while we waiting for Damn It to Hell and our guest to come on in, let's talk about the.
What do you think about this? They've been talking about there's something going on as far as the number 0.
Oh yeah.
3 guys popped Achilles wearing the number 0. Is it what's that thing called?
The omen?
No, yeah, omen. Is that what it is, or it's just happened to be 3 dudes that wear 0 that got hurt?
They were all point guards, wasn't it? All guards, wasn't it?
Well, he's an off guard to a 3 swing man. Tatum's a 3 swing man, right?
Yeah.
Tatum's he's the 2-3, and the other 2 are point guards.
Wow.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what, yeah, 0 means nothing. Well, I guess I won't wear that number.
Games too. Well, not so much Damon. I don't think they was in the playoffs when he did that, right?
Nah, he
did hurt the same season. And it's all the same injury. Am I correct in saying that?
Achilles, yeah.
And
then the other thing I heard is it
high tops?
Right? Is it high top or low top?
And that's the stupidest. Excuse my friends. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Why y'all not wearing high tops playing basketball?
The new generation.
That's
young kids, man.
Really, and that. Even in football, we used to have the high top cleats.
Yeah,
they took them out, and now everybody's wearing these light. In football, they wear these light cleats, but no ankle support. I don't get it no more. I don't know, but and who started the low tops? Was it Kobe? Am I correct in saying that?
Oh, Kobe. Yeah, he always had
low
tops. Probably was Kobe, because Jordan had high tops.
Yeah, Jordan. He wore the 3/4 up to.
Ewing had high tops.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if
it's.
90s?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's the trying to lighter, faster, quicker. The reason why they went to low cut. You know what I'm saying? I guess they thinking, if you have a low cut and a lighter shoe, you can move fast and move quicker and all that. And with a high top, it stops your quickness movement or something, I guess. I don't know why they just went away from high tops.
Yeah.
I mean,
you hardly even see them in the stores.
Yeah, you only high top I see in the store is Air Force Ones.
Yeah, you hardly even see them.
And they don't sell the high top no more.
That's crazy.
Well, Jordan still got their 3/4.
Yeah.
To the ankle, but that was.
Tatum's is 3/4.
The Jordan brand.
It's 3/4.
They still got all the 3/4.
Right. So it definitely ain't the low top. It ain't a low top thing while you popping your Achilles. That's not it.
You can see, you saw the replay.
On
Halliburton.
Wow.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was sad.
I thought it was his knee at first.
Yeah, nah. I thought it was the calf. I remember
it looked like it.
Talking about the calf, it looked like the calf just popped. It just popped. This whole thing.
Because he jerked back and you saw it.
Yeah, the whole thing is.
That was nasty.
They say that's a year and a half, or close to a year and a half of healing.
That's a tough comeback.
Yeah, I saw Kyrie working out.
That was bad too. His was bad.
Yeah, but I just seen a video of him working out. He's
already?
It looked like it.
Wow.
It looked like
When was he out? What part of the season?
He was out early.
Like in the middle, almost.
You outside?
We'll go to a quick commercial break.
It has a breakfast. Not a lot of people know that. You'd be surprised.
I'm famous. I'm gonna tell you why. Let's talk about Applebee's breakfast. Now, it ain't no IHOP. It ain't. So talk about it. I mean, is it good?
Of course it's good.
I'm glad you said that.
Is it better?
It seems like this is a very lucrative business. It's very interesting.
You might want to grab grab some of these items. I see you looking at a couple. I can give you a nice discount.
Yeah, well, you know. So now
We'll talk a little later.
right off the air. Yes, because
So do you
I have a big tab.
A lot of men silently suffer from like erectile dysfunction. I can't necessarily sell like things like medications and pills. There are different things out there,
right?
But I can sell items to help
To enhance it.
To enhance it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But right now, there's actually a very popular item which will be available on my site very soon. It's called the Gawk 3000.
The what?
The Gawk
Gawk
3000.
3000. Oh shoot! It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
Gawk. Sounds like a muscle for that muscle.
Well, you know what? Let's get to our very first guest, the owner of Twisted Sugar.
Come on down.
Come on down. Get on down there. Yeah.
Put the ears on. And for those who's watching today, she did get her hair done. It wasn't done last week. She was out of this world, but she is back with us today and looking as lovely as ever. Give Zoom. That was our segment on sports. Now, not even a segment, just a conversation between brothers talking about this, that, and the other. Just to bring this back up too, just a little footnote about sports. Football's back, y'all. Just want to let everybody know. Yeah, and, I listen. That's my thing. That's what I love. I'm glad we back around. October, baseball will be done, but football camp started open up. So, you guys that's into fantasy, like I am now, get your team, get your players ready. Let's get ready. Watch what's going on out there. Keep a note what's going on. I know you Cowboy fans, you're
you definitely had to throw you in there.
I just wanted to let them know that, it's going to be a good year. I'm praying that your boy Dak stay healthy for at least a season, because it hasn't happened in a while, because you have some nice receivers. They just need the ball, man. So, hopefully that I want that to happen for them, man. And all you New York Giants fans, hopefully you'll get what you want. You got old man Russ, he got a nice looking wife, but Russ ain't been good since he married Sierra. Sierra, you the bomb. Don't get it twisted, you the bomb. But Russ, you ain't been the man since. So I like.
And where's he at? He's at the Giants?
Yeah, he's at the Giants. He's gonna be
New
the star.
York usually brings it out in people, man.
You think Russ
No,
was
that's
there?
true too, because the light,
Yeah.
we
Broadway, huh?
Yo, listen, the media don't play when it comes down to sports.
You got the other young boy. He's taking over the Jets, Justin Fields. So he's down there. So he's supposed to be the light at that tunnel for them. So we'll see. It's going to be.
Is Shador going to be a light for Cleveland?
Oh, I think he got that starting spot. Yeah, I think he got it.
You think he's going to start?
I think he's going to get that starting spot.
I don't know if they can trust him. That's why I don't. Not as far as football, as far as his behavior. Did you hear what he did?
My ear wasn't to the ground this week. What happened?
He has been caught reckless driving.
Oh, that's what it was speeding.
Driving, speeding.
I heard about
speeding and doing like 70 and a 30.
Well, maybe the speed limit in Cleveland is different. You got to understand where we're coming at. It's still speeding, no matter which way you put it. If it's say 35 miles per hour, you don't do 70. But listen, man, his father's prime. He had to get to the field on time.
Did they give him
Here you go.
No, they gave him a warning.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a franchise. Yeah. I don't think he got a summons for that. I think he got a warning. But being that someone heard about
I'll look it up. because
Well, you are the super producer extraordinaire.
Yeah,
These are things you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Before the end of the show?
Yeah, can you
I
do
will.
that?
Yes, I will.
Make sure your computer works. Right now, we're gonna go to a commercial break, and then back. Once we get back, we will have our person here today.
It has a breakfast. Not a lot of people know that. You'd be surprised.
Chris,
Yeah,
that's I'm famous. I'm gonna tell you why. Let's talk about Applebee's breakfast. Now, it ain't no IHOP. It ain't. So talk about it. I mean, is it good?
Of course it's good.
I'm glad you said that.
Is it better?
It seems like this is a very lucrative business. It's very interesting.
It is. You might want to grab some of these items. I see you looking at a couple. I can make you a nice discount.
Yeah, well,
So now,
We'll talk a little later.
right off the air. Yes, because
so do you
I have a big tab.
A lot of men silently suffer from like erectile dysfunction. I can't necessarily sell like things like medications and pills. There are different things out there,
right?
But I can sell items to help
To enhance it.
To enhance it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But right now, there's actually a very popular item which will be available on my site very soon. It's called the Gawk 3000.
The what?
The Gawk
Gawk
3000.
3000. Oh shoot! It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
Gawk. Sounds like a muscle for that muscle.
Well, you know what? Let's get to our very first guest, the owner of Twisted Sugar.
Come on down.
Come on down. Get on down there. Yeah.
Put the ears on. And for those who's watching today, she did get her hair done. It wasn't done last week. She was out of this world, but she is back with us today and looking as lovely as ever. Give
Yes. So we back on the road again. Show again. I'm your host with the most coast to coast, world famous, and
I'm David Sahel. I'm here.
she's here, and on to the other coast over there. And today is our guest. I am proud and honored to have the guest here today. His name, his producer name is Ali the Greatest. Let's clap it up for Ali the Greatest. Welcome to On the Road Again Show.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Before I go any further, forgot to introduce super producer extraordinaire, Kubi TV.
Yeah, I'm here in the
all
background
right.
like always because
Well,
world
that's-
famous don't care no more.
I love you on Thursdays. Today's Wednesday. You don't get a shot today. But anyway, like I said, today we have a young, upcoming producer, entrepreneur, and he has dynamic brother. I have the pleasure of knowing. I have the pleasure of watching him grow into the man that he is, and I'm happy to have him on our show today. And I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself, and then we're gonna get into the interview with him. Take it, Ali.
For sure. Well, first and foremost, appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate the platform, and
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here. Like my good brother said, I'm a producer, music producer, engineer. I DJ as well. I do parties. I do events. I really I feel the lane when it comes to producer of many different things. But I also own a studio in White Plains, the Go Lab. But yeah, I'm a 914 native, Mount Vernon, You know, my earnings home.
That's it.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
So,
Yes,
money earning
sir.
for
Yes,
sure,
sir.
for sure. You know, I've worked with some of probably your favorite artists, maybe. Wyclef Jean, The Lox, Kevin Gates, Tone Trump, my brother from Philly. You know, just to name a few.
Yeah, hey, listen.
You got some good accolades there.
Absolutely.
Got some good accolades under your belt.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, so in saying that, how did you get into the music field? Well, give us a little background on that.
For sure. Well, shoot, how much time we got? You want the long version? Or no, I can fix it. Well, for me, it starts with my grandfather. So my grandfather's a jazz musician. So I always when I get this question, I always say the reason I'm a Muslim is because of my grandfather. The reason I'm an entrepreneur is because of my grandfather, and the reason I'm engineer, musician, and entrepreneur is because of my grandfather. So
That's right. You making him proud.
Pretty much.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Shout out
is.
to Yahya Ali. But yeah, it really just was instilled in me from young, being around him, you know, jam sessions and, you know, Jazzmobile and Harlem. And so I knew like coming up, I didn't want to go like the artist route, just because I always saw like the leverage that whoever is behind the scenes has. And, you know, with the entrepreneurship mentality, it's just like, we want leverage. So, yeah, fast forward a couple of years, I started just, you know, messing around with certain programs, you know, the Garage Bands, the Logics and stuff. And then I linked up with two of my cousins. Shout out to Iggy and shout out to Rod. We formed a collective called Undeniable Music. So this is maybe
Undeniable Music.
Undeniable Music. Yeah. So you know, Rod coming from playing in church, and you know, he's playing for Bobby V at 15, and you know, all of us kind of just being together, and it was just like, yo, let's do something. So that's what really started.
That's where the foundation began. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So what made you decide to be a producer behind the scenes as opposed to being in front?
Well, so that's a funny story too. So my first role just in this was, so, you know, we had some, just like everybody really, we had some friends that was rapping and, you know, making music and stuff. So I go away to school. So while I was this is after. So I go away to school and I come back, it's the first break back. I come back and, you know, we all chilling, and this is back when Fab was putting out the soul tapes. So it's funny because he's a whole politician now. Shout out to my boy Tyree Wilson Samuels. But we had a group, and you know, I'm away, so I don't know what's really going on. So Fab is playing, and then he's put some on his joints. I'm like, it sounds different, but I'm already engaged. I'm not asking no questions right now. We just
right.
So at the end, I'm like, yo, that's who's that? That's Fab? He's like, nah, bro, that's me. And then the light bulb just went off from there. It was just like, oh, okay, we could do something. So my first like task, I guess I gave myself was I need to get them to perform at my school. Shout out to Western New England in Springfield, Mass. So yeah, I was playing manager and, you know, trying to, you know, just get some looks for all of us.
Right.
But to answer your question, along the way, it was you know, shout out to Iggy again, but we all first starting out. So he's not making the music that needs to be made. You know, the artist wants this sound. He's over here, but me from the outside looking in, I'm like, yo, just do it. Like, I'm one of those is like, don't worry about it. I got it. But as I'm getting into it, I'm like, oh, I see why he's not making the music. This is like really it. This is in depth. There's a lot of, you know, bells and whistles and things that you gotta, you know. But as I'm learning, I'm loving it at the same time. So it's like, yeah, I'm still handling business, but I'm producing at the same time.
Wow. Interesting. So that was the start of the producing. And that also was, to me, producing takes a kind of an ear.
Absolutely.
It takes a kind of an ear to mix, because of artists is always, it's hard to please them. I think they sometimes think they sometimes in mind, this is where it's at. This is where it's coming from. I'm bringing it to you.
Right.
I'm making you alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, sometimes I think it's just hard for a producer to work with some of these artists nowadays. How do you feel about that, working with some of these artists? Is it tough? Do you have people that's more manageable, more workable?
Absolutely. So everybody's different, right?
Mhm.
So I look at, like me, when I sit in that chair, I'm in the business of customer service. However, the customer is not always right.
Okay.
So I have two styles, I guess you can say. If it's an artist that I'm like working with and I'm producing with, I'm producer first, engineer second.
Gotcha.
If it's, you know, a client session and they just getting the time, I'm engineer first, producer second.
Gotcha.
So the difference really is, if I'm engineer first, I'm gonna, you know, you have the executive, you know, say, I'm not gonna let you get too far off course. So if it's like, how you feel about this?
Good.
Are you cool with that? All right, cool. Let me keep that. Let's do that again. Just to say what that does, is that just does something psychologically to the artist. It's like, there's something wrong with that previous take. Off rip, I'm gonna do it differently. It may be what we're looking for, it may not be, but we just progressing.
Gotcha.
And then when I'm, you know, producer first, it's like, we're gonna get that right, because, you know, my music is on this.
Right.
My name is on this as well.
Right.
So
that's very, very important.
Absolutely.
Very, very important.
Absolutely.
Very important.
So break down for people who are naive to the music that we just listened to. What's the difference between a producer and an engineer?
So an engineer is more techniques. So the engineer is gonna, for the most part, track the record. They're gonna mix the record. This is where the EQs come in, the compression comes in. Really just fine tuning and making sure that everything is, you know, where it needs to be on the technical side.
Okay.
So before we even get to the technical side, we have to make sure the performance is right. So that's what the producer does. The producer is gonna, I need more aggression. I need you to,
okay.
I'm directing.
So the
track.
coach.
Right. Correct. I think you should do this for your ad-libs. You should, maybe a little bit more subtle and a little bit, So once we got the performance right, it's like a, put it like this. It's like, what was the analogy that I use? It's like a videographer, right? A lot of shooters don't like editing things that they haven't shot, because if I get a good shot, my editing is gonna, I'm shooting to edit.
Right.
So when I'm in the studio, being that majority of the time I do both, I'm producing to engineer. So I don't really have to do as much of the work that I would have to do, because there's times where you got to really.
You're producing it,
right,
and to engineer it at the same time. So you're already trying to.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
I'm considering the mixed record. I'm considering the mastered record. I'm considering when they're on stage. I'm considering all of these things. So okay, now we got to make sure that this performance is right where it needs to be.
You say to me, you said to us that grandfather brought this to the table and you ate off of it and you grasped it and you now you are the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Indirectly. How influential just grandfather whole lifestyle has been to you, from music to life to where you at now?
Well, one, so the greatest is something that I aspire to be. Am I there yet? No.
Right.
But that's the goal, and that's the that's the target. But I mean, shoot, man. So I grew up, me and mommy. Single mother. My mother had me at 17, and from there, and she tells the story all the time. She said from there, she's like, I'm giving you, you're a lost son. I'm giving you, like, 17-year-old. I don't know she don't know what's going on, and it's like everything's going on in her head.
Right.
So my grandfather was the one, and of course there was other family members and stuff too. But my grandfather was the one that like stepped up and, all right, I'll do it. I got him. I'll be there. One minute we exterminating buildings, and mind you, this would be all in the same day.
Right.
Wake up, we'll exterminating buildings, and then let's say I got to play baseball all through high school and stuff. So from young, so we might be at Brush Park taking batting practice, and then we might have another job to do, to go Cool, we doing that. But on the way to these places and just in the car, you mentioned something before about having the ear.
Right.
So what he did, and I didn't even know until like I became an adult, and he was like, so what he did was everybody, he always listened to, jazz and salsa and reggae and all of the, things that you wouldn't, typically think.
But
So-
the young person would be doing it.
Right.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm wearing cowboy boots at 5. And like, it was always an adventure, like always. So that's an Aquarius mind. But so what he was doing, while music was playing, I would always get the question, who's that playing? Whether if it was Coltrane, whether if it was Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, just who's that playing? Who's this?
Right. Oh.
So I'm like, I used to get it wrong all the time, but then I started to get it right. But then he would, you got to listen because Charlie Parker, his approach to the horn and his approach to this is like this and he's like that. So I'm like, all right, from young, I'm like, all right, cool. But as I got older, I was just like,
He
all
was
right.
grooming them.
Right. School. Right.
Yeah, he was
Right.
grooming them.
So what that did was he was literally training my ear from then to where it was like
Gotcha.
I could come in and be like, oh, that's off key, or look, that's timing is a little bit off, or that
Right.
you should probably do it like this because your last record is like I would just easier, I should say, to just point out some of the wrongs and some of the things that needed to be corrected.
Wow.
So
But you, go ahead.
So you into jazz and R&B too, or just?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So I produce everything. I've done Spanish records. I've done gospel records. I really like the soul samples. I like the R&B joints, the chord progression, bass lines, and all of that. But whatever the situation calls for, really.
Have you ever heard of Grant's Tomb?
Yeah, of course.
You been down there?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. I don't know your age, so you know.
Man, he had
I'm
me
quite sure.
everywhere.
I'm quite sure he had him down there, right? He had him out there. He had him out there.
He had me everywhere. For real. Sure.
So
Definitely.
would you put all right, basically are you producing because you're getting a check, or are you producing to try to like help people really, achieve their goals?
I do both.
I'm not
Okay.
saying check.
Because
I do both.
yeah,
But-
because I know the corner boy that's doing this trap music, you definitely gonna take him into the studio because he paying.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Because it's the music business. And what people don't really understand too, it's like everyone focuses on the music, which is great. Focus on the music, developing the music, but you have to consider the business.
Right.
Or you're gonna be on a hamster wheel.
Wow.
And it's like, because there's no such thing as that, let me not say that. There's no such thing as that big break without the knowledge and without the network and knowing how to talk in certain rooms and
Right.
having certain relationships.
Exactly.
At some way, nobody just gets it like
Right.
that. There's a conversation. There's always, even if it's a little bit, there's a
Right.
little background work that has to get done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what do you do? Somebody comes in, if they're a singer, if they're a rapper, and they are horrible, they are trash.
Mm.
How do you?
Discourage them.
I don't know if you discourage them, but I mean,
I'm
they're
going to
paying.
tell you straight up and down,
He
you
can't.
need to choose something else. I'm sorry.
However, he is the producer.
I'm
And
just
the
saying, if I'm in
engineer.
his shoes, me,
That's why you're not, and you're
Exactly.
behind that scene.
exactly. But
for the musical
you
ear-
need to go bye-bye. That's
Do
it.
something else.
For the musical ear, do you find a way to produce them to make them sound better, or you just be like,
But can you? Yeah. You can make someone sound
Have-
better than
we're called auto tunes is amazing.
Auto-tune helps, but you still have to be able to perform.
That's my next thing I was gonna
Yeah,
write.
you
You
gotta
gotta, yeah.
Like it's not gonna do all the work. But the thing is, I meet them where they're at.
Okay.
So if I'm the engineer first, and this is just a client session, okay, I'm gonna meet you where you're at. My first question always is, how do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? Like it's not about me. Even when I'm on, it's like, what do you feel about that? Because I don't want to, like, it's not my way, it's not your way. It's how does the music sound?
So,
But in my head, because I feel that I am the next Whitney Houston, even though I am at the bottom of the barrel, that sounds amazing. That was good. What you gonna say to me?
I'm gonna give you some tips.
Oh.
How about we try it like this?
Oh, okay.
How about we
pivot.
try it like that? Let's try it. I'm gonna keep that, but let's try it like this. You know that song, such and such? Yeah. Remember how they? Let's try that. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. Oh, that's dope. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Now we moved up a little bit. We progressed. I'm good with the progression.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? If I see there's more room for progression, we're gonna keep climbing. But sometimes that's the cap for that time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Wow. But does that help you out?
I mean,
I know you blow a little bit.
Who?
You don't.
I'm never gonna quit my day job.
Okay.
I don't. What they call it? I'm deaf tone. Tone deaf. There you go. I'm tone deaf. I'm tone deaf. I have the voice, but I do not have that new. I have the new.
So she said tone deaf, right?
Tone deaf.
She's Jamaican too, so that's.
Oh, okay. Right now.
Hold the line. Time out. Wait a minute. I tell you one more damn time, I am not Jamaican. No respect. I don't need a green card from where I'm from, okay? All you got to do is show your ID, okay? I'm going to tell you one more time to get your life together. Super producer extraordinaire, Kubi. Okay?
And on that note, right now, we're going to take a pause. We're going to have a commercial break, and then we're going to come back with Ali the Greats.
I wasn't born and raised in the projects. I was born and raised around men. Okay? Don't let this 9 to 5 fool you. I am a totally different person after 5 o'clock. So, before y'all come in my comments, y'all know I get sensitive and I'll tell you about your daddy and sisters. But I do have something to say. You bitches gotta do better. You thirsty bitches got to do better. So my segment for today is no thank you. I had a talk with myself. I was talking to some friends. No thank you means, and this is for my ladies this time. Okay? If he's married, no thank you. If he lives with someone, it's okay to say no thank you. If he has 6 kids and the youngest is like 5 and under, say no thank you. Damn. Okay? You don't need headaches. Right. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of women, they're with a person just to say they have a boyfriend. It's okay to be single and happy and say no thank you. Okay? So that's my segment. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. But the summer word for me personally is no thank you. Very nicely, too. No thank you. You don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be rude. They can come with their speech and you just say, no thank you. Have a blessed day. No, thank you. Have a blessed day.
Keep a smile on your face when you say it.
Yeah.
She does it very, very well.
That's my thing.
Damn it to hell.
All day.
Damn it to hell.
This is the I'm being nice to tell you to go away. No, thank you.
Oh, so now we going back. Thank you for that segment. And we appreciate that word. Damn.
I'm very interested in Mr. Ali the Greatest and his accolades and who he's worked with, and
that's what we had now.
Yes.
Let's start with it. I mean, take the helm and just run with it right now. You're on the road. Go ahead. On the road again.
Not today.
Not today?
Not today.
Why not?
We've been good.
With each other. Well,
Mr. Ali, the Greatest.
Mm-hmm.
Please share with us you said Kevin Gates. Now, which one you worked with Kevin Gates?
You said which one?
Which album? Which song?
So he was a feature. He was a feature on my brother Tone Trump's the
Okay.
first project we did, One Foot In, One Foot Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a thing with Kevin. Well, I think right now he's going off the deep end a little bit, but I kind of like some of his music. I was liking his music. The second, third album.
Yeah.
I was liking it. I'm not, people shocked when they hear me say that, but yeah.
I agree. Yeah, the thing with Gates is this. He's a genius mind. One, like, and he's like so out the box that I feel like he's too out the box for himself sometimes. But he brings it home, and especially like now-ish, he's kind of making a lot more quote unquote sense with some of the theories, and I don't want to say sense, but like it's more relative and relating to people, and especially like the times that we're in now. Everybody's kind of on the wake up, on the conscious tip, and more intrigued with the health and just with everything really. But Kevin Gates was a feature. He featured on my brother Tone Trump's One Foot In, One Foot Out album, and that was the first album that I did with Tone Trump from Philly.
Okay.
And he and that was probably one of the toughest records. Simply because it was a remake to a beat because he had laid a hook, and it was like he was literally on his phone. I got this. I got to lay the hook to that. So it was just like, okay. And we were just gonna use that beat, but one, it didn't get cleared, and two, me and Tone already had an agreement for me to produce and really do the whole album. So that would have kind of breached that. But it just wasn't like, it was cool. Like my first take of it, like my first draft of it was cool, but it wasn't. This is Kevin Gates. Hold on, we gotta come super correct. And this is like, like kind of my first pop out in a sense.
Okay.
So it's like, we gotta come correct. So I might have did that beat over like 3-4 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I brought in because it's a lot of brass in the record too. So I brought in a trumpet player, I brought in a saxophone player. That wasn't it. I played it. That wasn't it. I got some new sounds.
Wasn't it for you or for him?
Like me, that wasn't like,
that when you said that's not it, that wasn't it. Was it? It was for you and your ear.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like, nah, that's not it. Because I like it, it's a feeling. Music is a feeling. You know what I mean? It's frequencies on a spectrum that have to be felt. And of course we want it to be heard, but something being heard doesn't last. That feeling lasts. Like you walk into somewhere or you around someone and it's like, this person made me feel like this, I'm gonna remember you. Right. So I always, keep that in the front of my head when I'm, just attacking anything.
Beautiful. I mean, that's you should say. Speaking of other artists you work with, one of my favorite artists from YO. I'm a Lock fan. I'm a Jadakiss fan all the way. I do believe he's one of the top 5.
Absolutely.
I mean, he just flows with it. So how was that experience working with them? I mean, working with them. I got love and respect for them all day, every day. They just I watched them from where they came, from the silver suits to where they at now.
To the Barclays, when they killed it at the Barclays.
Yeah, I mean,
the verses
when they put it on Dipset. Yeah, they was. I mean, I'm just happy with them. I just can't say enough. And how was that like working in and being in with them cats?
It was fun. So it was 2 separate situations. So Kiss was one situation. It was an artist at the time that I was working with. So shout out to one of my OGs, RP Phil, but he was the one that I learned the studio business from.
Gotcha.
I went there with him. I went there with another artist that was, that was the artist's home studio at that time.
Okay.
So that's where I met Phil, and he's like this, and he's like, oh yeah, like okay, oh yeah. And he was looking for engineers too, so I ended up becoming one of his engineers at one point in time. And then, but yeah, the Kiss situation came. Kiss came and went in the back. Beat was playing. And
he just went.
He was just zoned.
That's beautiful, man.
But the second time, shout out to Oswald Benjamin. There was so Ghost South P had did a feature for Oswald.
Right.
So we go to D Block Studio, well, the old D Block Studios, and we all, and I'm always, especially when it's someone else's situation too. Start off as someone else's situation. I'm fly on the wall, and
Right,
chilling.
right. What you're supposed to do, absolutely.
Fanning out
Absolutely.
a little bit, but we keeping it cool. But what happened was their engineer had to leave because we were there. Ghost came a little late. Engineer had to leave, so I'll leave you up.
Slide right in.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Hit the ball up the park.
Did that. Ended up mixing the record, and that was that.
There you go.
I like how you
In the right
said
place.
I knew he was leaning upside. He said someone else's situation.
Mm.
That means he I knew that segue was coming where it was like, yeah, I just bided my time.
That's it, man.
Hey.
When opportunity knocks, you definitely have to take it.
Absolutely. My
Right
theory
then
is,
and there.
my theory is if it's happening, you're ready for it, regardless
Mm.
if you feel like you are. or not.
Exactly.
You know?
Words of wisdom from a young man. I mean, that's beautiful. You talked about a little bit. What school did you go to? What school? You said you played baseball, you played the sport. You played that in high school as well?
I did.
Wow, that's educating to me because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So you played for the Knights.
Yeah. No. So
What school you went to?
so I grew up in White and Mount Vernon.
Okay, let's
let
get
me-
it right because I'm confused. Right now, I'm confused.
He left Mount Vernon. He's
So
getting a little
let
antsy.
My mama probably gonna watch this, so let me start from. So we have a thing. We got a little inside joke. So she always says you're from where you're born, right?
Okay.
So, but I don't agree with that because I spent a lot of time in the important years in Mount Vernon.
Right.
However, I was born in New Rochelle.
Okay.
So, but I always, she contradicts that theory because she was born in Mount Vernon.
Mm.
So she's like, we love Mount Vernon. Let's just get that out. But everyone has their thoughts and their, things of that. So she's like, I don't want to be from Mount Vernon. I'm from New Rochelle. But I'm like, well, listen,
Because it sounds bougie? Because New Rochelle sounds bougie.
little bit, Listen, man, I love Mount Vernon. You know what I mean? Like, I had
Now,
time.
come on,
I just feel like sometimes with Mount Vernon, it depends what side.
It does. Shout out to the Heights. Going around, you know what I mean? But I got 7 for third ties. I got North Side ties.
Can you say that
I got
7-3? Say that 6
7 for third ties.
You
Believe that. You know what I mean? Still to this day.
I have nothing Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
I get lost in
for
Mount Vernon.
But yeah, so that's so yeah, I grew up, I went to from K through 2, I was in New Rochelle schools.
Okay.
3 through 8, I was in Mount Vernon.
Oh yeah, you Mount Vernon.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You don't remember the K2. You don't remember K to 2. You remember 8.
Well, Mom, if you're watching this, you heard.
I'm sorry. I'm from the Bronx, but
Trying to tell you.
I'm from the Bronx, but he didn't know nothing about K to 2. He remember the 8th grade though.
right, for sure.
So when did you start playing baseball? Did you play through Mount Vernon, little leagues, minor leagues, and all that stuff?
For sure.
Oh, so that's good.
For sure.
What year?
Did I graduate? 2011.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2011. Then I went to so we were still, we was finessing a little bit. We was living in Mount Vernon, but we had got, I had an opportunity to go to White Plains High School. So I did that.
Use the good old address up there.
Shout out to, Auntie and them.
George Jefferson.
That's right.
You can move it on up. There you go. You can move it on up. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But then they called me. Then they called me. Yeah. So we had found a spot in Harrison. So I was still in White
Oh,
Plains.
Harrison ain't
but
gonna
it
play
was
with
Harrison.
them. Them people in Harrison ain't playing with
Yeah,
you.
they called me.
Them taxpayers, baby, they don't play with you in
That's
Harrison.
what led me to Harrison High School.
Mm.
And
Wait, Went to Harrison High School too?
went to Harrison High School. I did half in White Plains and then half in Harrison.
So White Plains kicked you out, so you moved to Harrison?
Yeah, well, so we ended up moving to Harrison in the intro while I was
Okay,
going to
okay.
White Plains. Yeah.
See, I residency. This is that counts.
So when did you play baseball?
Oh, all through from K through 12, really.
So you played at White Plains
I played at White Plains.
and then played at
I
Harrison
played at Harrison.
in that same year.
Yep.
Whenever that's
Well,
right.
no, so season didn't start.
That means he was good.
That's good.
That means he was good.
Season didn't start because this was about January time. This was right after like midterms and all of that. So they let me rock up until midterms.
Oh.
because they was building the kids like, yeah, we saw you this time and this time and this time and this time, because we used to run 40 bus down, and sometimes we take the train with the private school girls and chill in the Galleria. Shout out to the Galleria. It was a good
It's
time.
gone now.
It was,
That's crazy.
for real.
Wow.
I think they're gonna make condos out of it.
We got a baseball player over here. One of my co-hosts is right here.
Oh, word.
He played a little bit on
Yeah, might play a little bit. Don't downplay it.
All right, let's see. Nah.
Listen, man. Listen, man. But talk about
But you still play.
Talk about your baseball, man. Tell them that you did it.
I don't want to talk about that.
Why?
He actually tried out for the Mets.
Thank you.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's
You're
big.
downplaying
That's
stuff,
big.
man.
Yeah.
That's big.
He's a modest guy. He doesn't like any accolades he got. He don't want to take, like, he accept them, but he ain't gonna talk about it.
Got you. Just
Hum-
curious,
humble self.
Oh,
Did you
come
play
on,
with,
please,
with
throw
Ken
it out the
Singleton?
window.
Or around?
No, I worked out with Kinsey.
Okay.
Well, also, actually, I worked out with
Once you get started.
Come on, talk
Look like
about
he
it.
get comfortable now.
Wait, say again?
Evero Espinosa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not Reggie Williams. Oh my God, he's from Panama. Oh man.
What position?
Right field, left field. He played for the Yankees too. Matter of fact, center field.
Ruben Sierra?
No, this is back in. This is back.
Okay.
Oh, you and my father would have great conversations.
Hold on. Roberto Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Roberto Kelly.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, Roberto Kelly.
Dope.
Let's see now, ladies and gentlemen.
I was a little league mom.
He was Little League.
What? My son played. He was nice in baseball. He gave it up. But I was the little league mom. I had a bullhorn and all that.
Experience. We don't like to use the word old. Experience.
There we go. I like that.
There you go.
Experience.
You made me feel young.
See?
Just curious, does the name Rob Cruz ring a bell? Who? Rob Cruz?
Ding.
Okay.
Didn't ring.
Okay.
Doesn't ring.
Okay.
But see, Super Producer Extraordinaire, I'm glad you talked about Super Dave's careers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was a good thing. Good thing.
So why didn't you stay with baseball? Music came first.
I didn't. So I went on a couple of college visits, and it was, it was something that I considered. But, after hearing about the regimen, and I'm a future person. I like to plan. I like to, consider the next couple of years. And it was just really on, like, I don't really want to do this.
You didn't have a love for it.
I had a love for it, but I'm gonna be honest, the love was dying down a little bit. And plus too, like, I'm not gonna say I have a problem with authority and,
It's a structure.
Right. And it's too rigid of a structure in a sense with certain organizations, especially the Yankees.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just like, but
Yeah, I can see that.
when I was 13, 14, yeah, I'm gonna be the next Derek Jeter, of course.
Yeah, right.
Middle infield, and I'm, baseball was life.
What position
Right.
you
Middle infield.
played?
Yeah.
So did you went, what school you went to? Was it Division I scholarship? Did you get
No.
a scholarship school?
No. It was, the school I went to was D3 because I had
Okay.
already made my decision that I wasn't playing baseball in
Okay.
in college. But
Oh, so he didn't go to college for baseball.
yeah, I just went.
You just went.
I just
He went
I
for the
just
D.
went.
He went the D for degree. That's all he went for.
I went for the
There you go.
accolades and the degrees.
That was it.
Wow. Well, hey, listen, man, that's a part of your journey, and your journey is full, and you got so much more to accomplish, and I see that in you, and I see growth, and like I said, I have the pleasure of knowing you through the whole rankings, and it's been a pleasure. That's why I was so adamant about having him. You got to come on and speak. You got to come through and come through our podcast. What we do here is we do explore entrepreneurship. We do, like I was telling you earlier, we get behind the other room there. It's called Blazing the Booth. And the next thing I would like for you to do when you get a chance or when it's available, one of your artists can come through and they can perform on Blazing the Booth. I mean, and when I say Blazing the Booth, Ahmad,
I won't be there. I'll come out
I
there.
mean, let me just tell you, they not just
It's called
lyrically,
blazing.
Not just lyrically, they blaze the
Yeah.
boot.
You want to leave with a contact?
It's truly an experience, and we had some brothers and sisters come through that did very well. And like I said, we'd like to get one of your artists or some of your artists to come through as well. So that's something I'm looking forward to, because this is not the first time, but this is not definitely going to be the last time you come and visit us as well.
Nah, for sure.
For
sure. I know where y'all at now. I know how to get in.
And that never happens because I was shocked.
Oh, that dope.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
So before you close the show out, there's something we did not touch in today's show.
Let's get to it.
Your comedy. You have
yes,
you do some comedy stuff, right? So what do you have to do with that?
So yes and no. So
Okay.
A good friend of mine, shout out to Black Rose, hell of a comedian, activist and actress, so she launched something with the spot in the Bronx called La Bodega. Shout out to Product in La Bodega.
The one I know is in Harlem. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. But so they have we have a collaborative show. It's called the Say Something Comedy Show, and my role is DJ on that show.
Oh,
so I may have my little ones and twos, but I'm not. I didn't enter the comedic lane just yet.
So where's that at? Oh, is it on social media, podcast, or is it in person?
So it's an in-person show. It is recorded. And the spot is dope. Like it's like.
Well, where is it at in the Bronx?
It's where is this? Kind of like Hunts Point area, if I'm honest. Like Hunts Point area.
Okay.
Or not too far from Hunts Point, I should say.
Okay.
But right on, what is it, East 135th? Something right off the Bruckner, I want to say. But
okay.
But yeah, it's an in-person show. It's recorded, and she picks really dope comedians.
Really?
And there's different themes of shows. So there's some shows will be like Spanish English. Some shows will be straight English. Some shows will be straight Spanish.
Okay.
So yeah, she kind of plays the lane with that. So that's once a month at La Bodega.
What part? I mean, like the early part of the month, or she just picks a day. It's no set time.
Yeah, it's usually at the end of the month though. Like we just did one the 20th. The 20th, we just did one.
June. Okay.
Yeah. So
because I seen it advertised, I seen it on your gram, and I said, wow. Yeah, I said, I want to show love and come on now. Maybe we'll go on out and get some laughs. Because we need laughs in our life.
Yeah, we can definitely me, you, and Super Dave can come out for some laughs. Yeah. But we know who's going to go out for drinks.
Well, it's about it too. So
hey, call me happy hour queen, okay? He acting like I feel the way. I am the happy hour queen, okay? Anything between 4 to 8. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm there.
You there?
I'm there.
There you go.
Because usually I go to happy hour before I come here. That's why I'm late sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to come after happy hour. If you don't see me, I didn't want to come after happy hour. It's a Saturday. It is what it is. Now back to Mr. Ali the Greatest, because it's about him and not about me. Please, today, please let everybody know how they can follow you on your social media platforms.
For sure. Man, I rock with y'all. Y'all about it. It's Ali _ the greatest on all platforms. ALI_THEGREATEST. From TikTok to Instagram to Facebook. Website is under construction, and I'm just revamping some things right now.
Okay.
Brand wise and website and all of that. So in the next couple of weeks, that'll be up and running and stuff. I don't want to give the domain out because I don't know if that's going to be the domain just yet. But
whatever you follow him on the social media, the link will be in his bio.
Straight like that. Shoot, yeah, man. What's
Who, me?
What's up?
Oh no. I deal with people enough at work. I'm sorry, no. And he may lose some business, so no. Because I have no problem being a bad guy at all times.
Definitely. I just want to thank you, but I also want to notice that you keep this in mind. We have on the road again. Worked with 2 artists, and they're up and coming. I want you to I'm gonna have him come through. We're gonna sit down and chop it up and make something happen. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, let's
So
do it.
let's do it.
Let's
That's
do
what,
it. Let's do it.
you know, we're gonna make this thing. We're gonna make this bigger than life. It don't stop. It can't stop. Won't stop. And that's no more. We ain't going to that.
I didn't say
I
nothing.
don't know how you.
I'm trying to be on my best behavior.
I do.
today.
I know you are. But I don't like when I was on my best behavior. You pulled it out. You pulled me in.
No, because
pulled
you was
me in.
acting sulky that day.
No, I
You
wasn't.
was like,
But you know what? Let's go. We'll talk about that behind the
okay,
scenes.
no, right.
Anyway, I'd like to give a special thanks to our guest today, Ali the Greatest. We appreciate him coming down, sitting with us, the team from On the Road Again. I'm your host, World Famous.
Damn it to hell.
Super Dave.
Kubi TV.
And on that note, good night, all.
God
Enjoyed
bless.
your show, man. Enjoyed your story.
Good.
Appreciate y'all.